A mochi moment from Tara, who writes, "For years, all my doctor said was eat less and move more, which never worked. But you know what does? The simple eating tips from my nutritionist at Mochi. And after losing over 30 pounds, I can say you're not just another GLP-1 source. You're a life source." Thanks, Tara. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Tara is a Mochi member compensated for her story.
Holy crap, I put the wrong people up. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. Three Geeks, Jesus, man, I am all over the place today. What's up, Matt Talkers? I'm sorry, I know where I'm at. John, how are you doing today?
Are you that tired from your trip to Connecticut?
I guess so, man. I thought I'd kind of recovered, but I just got adjusted up on the screen. I'm introducing Three Geeks. It is a mess. Anyway, we have Corey joining us from Wilkie's Movies and Music, good friend of ours. And I am, believe it or not, excited to be here. It might not show, might seem like I need to go to bed, but I'm good, I promise. What's everybody been doing? What have you guys been up to?
I'll let Corey go first on that.
I was gonna say, you can go. Just busy at work, nothing bad, but it's, I was just saying, just trying to fit in some movies, getting some good ones in lately. It's been fun getting some watches in, but then just having fun doing live streams. I said it was kind of funny how sometimes it happens in groups, and I've had a lot of fun collaborations, being able to jump on to other people's channel like we're doing tonight. So I've had a lot of fun doing that. It's kind of cool when I get to sit back a little bit and let you take care of the chat stuff, and I can just hang out and have fun with you. But so I'm excited to be on. I appreciate you asking me to come on.
No, you're quite welcome.
Now we can make it work this week.
Yeah.
As for me, nothing really. I guess my only accomplishment is, for those that don't know, I put a outdoor rink in my backyard in the wintertime.
Oh, and, nice.
I got in 8 skates, 8 trips to there, which is a new record for me because here in Ohio, Mother Nature is fickle. So like, it could be 50 degrees in the wintertime, or it could be minus 25 with 5 inches of snow. You just never quite know when you're going to get it. But she blessed me this year that I got a lot of fun on the rink, but it's looking like it might be the end of the season for the rink, as we're supposed to be up in the 60s by the end of the week. So,
yeah, when we kind of got close to the 60s a few weeks ago, and then it snowed the next day. So yeah. You never know, John. You might get 12 more weeks of winter. You never know with Ohio. Ohio's all over the place.
Yeah.
Same with Iowa. We have very similar weather like that. And I live out in the country, but one of the small towns I usually will drive through to go to anything more populated. There was a family that used to do that. They put a rink up in the back, and they had 2 boys that they always did hockey out there. And there were some years where you'd see lots of hockey going on, and other years where they were lucky to squeeze a weekend or 2 out of it. It just depends. The Iowa weather is very similar, very finicky.
I actually had one time, this was like late March. I hadn't taken it down yet, so there's still water in the frame. And I walked outside because it was a nice day, Corey, and I looked, I go, that's a duck and a mallard. They were swimming in the rink. That's what they were doing.
You turned it into a wildlife habitat in your backyard.
Yeah, I should apply for tax-free status, shouldn't I?
You should get some type of tax break for that. I mean, come on.
So, well, as we like to do here on Matt Talk, let's start things off with what you're watching, where Jason and I and Corey will be joining us here as well on this installment of this. We just kind of talk about movies or TV shows that we're watching. So, Corey, since you're the guest, why don't you go first?
Well, since I have a horrible memory, I always have to look at my little list. For my movies, I like Letterboxd. I don't know if you're familiar with the app at all or the website, but it's a great way for me to keep track of things I'm watching. So I've gotten some really good movies, and I There was a couple horror movies that were suggested to me from some friends I was finally getting to. One of those was The Descent. I don't know if you have ever heard of that or seen that.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. Jason?
Okay.
I have not seen. I want to see it though, with Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter.
It was good. I would say if you're claustrophobic, you might not enjoy that one, but it's very good. The other one on their list that I got to was Oddity. That's another horror movie that didn't get a huge covering, but definitely has the creepy factor for sure. Then I also got one of my first time watch, a big old classic that I can't figure out why I hadn't seen it before, but Roman Holiday. So got that one in. Was a lot of fun. And from some other suggestions, I watched the very first episode of True Blood. I'd never seen that series before. So saw episode 1 of True Blood.
I liked that show. I've only seen, I think I stopped after season 2, not for any other reason other than I just stopped watching it.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend the show Paradise right now over on Hulu with Sterling K. Brown. He's a great actor, great show. It's got James Marsden in it as well. I don't want to get too much into the plot because it would be a spoiler, and I think you should go into the show knowing very little about it. I also have been watching the Final Destination movies. There's a 6th one coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
I am working my way through the 2nd one today, and it's a fun franchise, and I cannot wait to see what the 6th one has in store for us. But, that's pretty much it. I've been in Connecticut, so I didn't watch a whole lot of television. We did watch Twisters while I was there. But no, lots of tequila that week.
What did you think of?
It was my second time watching it. It was fun.
Okay, I didn't know you watched it before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we must not have discussed that. Well, for me, I went to the theater and saw the new Captain America movie. So I won't spoil it because I know it's still in theaters and is very, very popular. I thought it was middle of the road. I will just say that. It wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. It's middle of the road. And that's all I'll say, but definitely I think, if you're a Marvel movie buff, you should probably check it out.
I thought it was a fun mid. And people have asked me if you need to watch the Disney Plus shows to enjoy it. You do not. I do recommend highly that you refresh on the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that you know what? I maybe would have enjoyed it a little bit better had I done that.
Like the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk movie? Okay.
Yeah. It
Just
is
making sure I was thinking of the right one.
It is more a direct sequel to that than anything else.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Doesn't look like we have any comments from anybody. So, gentlemen, shall we go ahead and kick this bad boy off?
Hold on, John. We have an email.
Do we have an email? Okay.
This is from somebody named Florence. It's a request for legal representation. Dear counsel, my name is Florence. I am contacting your firm in regards to a divorce settlement with my ex-husband who resides in your jurisdiction. We had an all out-of-court agreement from him to pay...
Wait. She thinks we're lawyers?
Listen, John. For him to pay $750,000 plus legal fees. He has only paid me $351,000. I am hereby seeking your firm's assistance in collecting the balance from him or litigate this matter if he fails to pay as promised because he has delayed for too long. If you are in the position to represent me at the moment, kindly advise immediately. I have already responded to her and let her know that we're not real lawyers.
Okay.
But that is an email that we got, and I thought it was fun.
Nice. I can't say that I've gotten any like that before, so yeah, very good.
That's got to be a joke, right? That can't be serious because that's just so bizarre. Like,
maybe Joker.
I think it's serious. Like at first, I thought phishing scam, but there's nothing to click on, nothing to click on to be fished for. So no, it's just somebody who wants us to be a lawyer.
Well, I'll share this with the audience. Justin just gave us in the private chat. Her cousin is a Nigerian prince, which is probably accurate. Yeah. Probably. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to be hard pressed to follow that. But anyways, all right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's get on into it. Let's start with our opening statements. The name of the episode of Matlock that we're going to be reviewing tonight is called The Game Show, and the original air date was December 13th, 1991. We have a couple of guest stars that we need to discuss. The first one will be Peter Haskell. He is going to be playing the role of Dennis Blake. In IMDb, they put him down as MC Dennis Blake, but EMCEE. So in my notes, I put him down as just capital M, capital C, like MC Hammer. But apparently you can't touch this. Anyways.
Nice.
You may know Mr. Haskell as also playing Sullivan in Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3. He played the role of Tyler Chase in The Law and Harry McGraw. He also played the role of Dr. Bill Banks on The Colbys. He also played the role of Hollis Kirkland III on Ryan's Hope, and he's already been on Matlock once before. If we go back a couple of seasons to season 4, episode 23, The Blackmailer, he played the role of Senator Dolan. And for folks that are saying which one is the Blackmailer, that was the one where we had the cartoonist, the political cartoonist who was doing the cartooning, and he made the mention of the affair, and then he ended up dead, and it had the dog that got the ink all over it, and that was one of the clues. So a fun episode from a few seasons ago.
He was also in Columbo and Murder, She Wrote.
What? There's a hat trick?
Well, it's a Columbo hat trick, not a Perry Mason
it's not.
hat trick.
Oh, that's right. You said Columbo. I thought you said Perry Mason.
No, and for bonus points, he was in Jake and the Fat Man.
Oh, well.
John's
you know what?
favorite show.
What I liked, and I'm sure that if our good friend Daniel Snow joins in here, I like the fact that he was in the show The Law and Harry McGraw, which was a early detective show featuring Jerry Orbach. So before he was Lenny Briscoe.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Our next individual, our guest star of note, is Juanita Jennings. She plays the role of, assistant. When we love it here on Matlock, or on Matt Talk, when that's what you get. You get policeman, assistant, doctor. I love that. They can't even come up with a name. But anyways, Juanita also played the role of Anita in A Man Called Otto. She is Mrs. Duvet on Detroiters. I'm not sure how this is pronounced. I'm going to say Kamala on Shameless. Edna on Meet the Browns. Mama Taylor on Lincoln Heights. Dorothy Bascombe on The Bold and the Beautiful. She was also the receptionist in Basic Instinct. And she has about another 80 or 90 credits to her resume as well.
She was on the show That's My Bush. Did you ever watch that?
Oh, is that the old Comedy Central George Bush parody?
Yeah, from the South Park guys.
Yes. I haven't thought about that in forever.
So funny. Yeah, she was in that. And more recently, she played Nana Mama Cross on Amazon Prime.
Okay, you know what? I don't know about you two. I saw that, but I did not know what that was, and I didn't research it. I should have researched it, but we understand we have a comment from our friend Liz. And The Law and Harry McGraw was a Murder, She Wrote spinoff. Oh, no, I did not know that. Thank you, Liz. I did not know that. Huh. Well, see, I learned something today.
There you go.
Our third guest star is Arthur Rosenberg, playing the role of Larry Fisher. Now, you may know him from several appearances on Matlock. He was in Season 1, Episode 21, The People versus Ben Matlock. He played the role of John Linford. This was the episode where there was a court case going on, and somehow Ben got slipped a bunch of money that he didn't know about. It was left kind of covertly in his possession, and then he was going to be brought up on charges that he was a crooked lawyer. Also, Arthur appeared in Season 2, Episode 22, as Michael Barton on The Fisherman. And this is the one where the Vietnamese man had the boat and the small town, Jason, if you remember, we don't want your type here, blah, blah, blah. He was framed for murder, and Matlock got him acquitted of those charges. But Arthur also has appeared on Murder 1 as Judge Horton, Dr. George Epphart on Beverly Hills 90210, Wes in the movie Footloose, and Roger Breakstone in the movie Cujo. Gentlemen, any comments on Arthur Rosenberg and his long line of appearances?
I nailed it.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty good ones there. So far, all of them have had quite a few different credits to their names. It's kind of cool when you go back and start tying, and sometimes they're ones that you're like, oh, yeah, I do remember seeing them on that show or whatever. But
yeah, that was today when I was doing notes, Arthur Rosenberg. I'm like, that guy's been in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Well, here's our last guest star. It is Dana Sparks. She'll be playing the role of Carrie Summers. And she doesn't have a ton of credits, but the credits she does have, she's been on the show for a long time. For an example, she played the character Grace on the soap opera Passions, and she was on there for about 500 episodes. She was also on The Young and the Restless as Dr. Lena Cavett. She was also Lieutenant Commander Eames on JAG. She played the role of Carol Graham on Melrose Place. She also played the role of Jennifer Kepler on LA Law. She also played Vicky on Falcon's Crest. And as I said, about another 25 to 30 credits to her IMDb. Like I said, she doesn't have a lot, but she spent a lot of time on JAG and on Passions and on The Young and the Restless. So
my question is, do you think she's single? Because I would love to give her my number.
I don't know. That's a fabulous question. Why don't you look her up on Instagram and slide into her DMs?
I might do that, John. I might do that.
Can I just say, Corey, this is what happens. Sometimes he just comes from left field, and I'm like, what? Oh, okay.
No, it's funny. It's funny.
Justin, I don't think she's related to Bubba Sparks, but fascinating if she was.
Oh,
That's funny.
That's right, folks. It's getting ugly on the Mattalk podcast today.
Oh my goodness!
I will say, like, out of looking at when I started watching this, the one I did have to look up was Mark Taylor playing Norm Fisher.
Oh yeah. Why did you look him up?
Because I recognized him. I was like, man, I know this guy from some. He just looks so familiar to me, and he was one that I looked it up, and I was like, man, he's been in quite a few different movies and shows. I mean. Anyway, I don't know why, but he caught me as really familiar. And then when I was just putting it into IMDb, it comes up with Inner Space, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Arachnophobia, and so there were quite a few TV shows, other series as well. So, I was like, I must have just seen him through some of those and just recognized it. But yeah, his face jumped out at me. I don't know why, but
dude, he was a voice on, the Problem Child television series. He was on Home Improvement, Indiana Jones. John, you're slacking on this guy. He was in Matlock, Married with Children.
Hey, sometimes you miss the pass. I didn't catch the pass. Hey, look. One thing is, I know he may have looked familiar, but my question is, Corey, did his chest hair look familiar?
Oh, when he broke it out with the chains, I was like, man. Maybe we'll get to that part later, but it's kind of funny when
it's in my notes.
When brother replaces other brother. Kind of a thing. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but there was chest hair and gold chains that were pretty impressive on both of them.
I need to reach out to this guy because he was in the Better Than Transformers GoBots series that was something I was a huge fan of growing up.
Yeah, I remember the GoBots cartoon.
Bring him back.
There you go. All right, gentlemen. If we're done with our opening statements, it's time for me to ask you two a very important question. And that is, are you ready to give your opinion, solely your opinion, and only your opinion, so help you?
Yes.
Maybe. Think about it.
Okay. Well, then it's time
You got a lot of conviction.
Now it's time to testify!
Oh, I'm supposed to dance?
Yeah, you're supposed to dance really badly. This is the whole reason Liz tunes into us is to watch us dance.
All right. Anyways, let's get to the plot of this episode.
That's hilarious.
Michelle Thomas goes undercover on a game show to catch a killer. We have an opening scene where it's just a bunch of different clocks until we finally get to a digital-looking clock and we find out that this is the clock for the game show.
Very Back to the Future-esque opening with all the clocks.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right on that. The game show is called It's About Time. And right now, Dennis and Kari are doing their thing on the show. They're basically, the show's in full swing, with Walter winning the big money. Basically, we find out that the show is on tour and it's coming to the ATL soon. The crew of Ben Matlock, Ben, Michelle, and Conrad, they're watching the show at Ben's house. And Michelle,
we forgot special guest star Nancy Stafford is in this episode.
Stop it. Just stop it.
That's 2 weeks in a row, isn't it?
I think so.
Nice.
Anyways, so Michelle seems to know it all. Like, she seems to know like everything. She's a walking encyclopedia, which I thought was kind of a out of nowhere type of, because she doesn't, like, I don't want to say she sounds dumb on the show, but she doesn't seem to have like that range of knowledge. Like, there's been many times where I think like some of that trivia knowledge would be thrown out there just to stump, a client or an adversary that she's questioning. I just thought that this kind of comes out of the blue. That's just me. What did you guys think?
I thought it was kind of interesting because the guys were there, and first of all, Matlock was swooning over. Is it the Carrie Summers character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The kind of the Vanna White of that game show, and he was very fixated on her, and was excited about that. But then I thought it was funny because she kept on stumping the others. Where the Conrad, right? Sorry,
yes, Conrad.
He was trying to like name things. She's like, no, it's this.
Yeah.
He would be like, he'd be very confident, but then she'd be like, no. It was Babe Ruth, not whoever
Ted
he
Williams.
said. Yeah, Ted Williams.
Yeah, Ted Williams. Yeah.
She was just rattling them off, and I think the guys were. I think they were surprised of her trivia knowledge as well.
Well, Corey, you have just gotten a little taste of what we've been through for the last 5 seasons. Is that Ben, when he finds and fancies a lady, he acts like a 13-year-old.
He was.
No.
You're so pretty.
He was good in this one. He was tame.
It was pretty tame.
He was, because there's been a few where we're like, that's not cool, man. Don't do that.
Some stuff that didn't age well, or
yes, it did not age well.
Okay.
Well, Conrad drops the knowledge to Ben and Michelle that he knows Marjorie Wood, who is like the talent relations coordinator, and that he can easily get tickets and even get Michelle on the show, of which Michelle's like, nah, the pressure would be too much. I don't want to.
So Conrad was a small town sheriff when we first met him. How does he have Hollywood connections? I mean, this is the show where London called for Ben. Okay, so yeah. I guess anything's possible, but I'm just curious.
Maybe they were old college buddies. I don't know. They didn't really say the connection other than they knew each other from the past, did they?
Right.
Yeah,
correct.
Like old friends, have been a long time since they've seen each other, but good friends from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we then cut to a scene of the TV station, and there's a production meeting. And in comes Larry, who lets everybody know what he thinks about them. Ratings are slipping. Larry wants beautiful people on the show. He wants at least one hot blonde, right? Larry's unhappy with his brother, Norm, because Norm is like the director / cameraman, and he's not zooming in and panning and whatnot. He's just not doing it very well. Larry takes it easy on Carrie, which that made me think. I was like, are you taking it easy because, you two are hooking up?
Yeah, and you could tell they were kind of on the same wavelength too, because he just like said her name, and I think she was like, "Let me guess, lower cut line or like a higher hem line or something like that." Show some more skin for the TV, and he's like, "Yep," and she's like, "Okay," and it's moved on. So yeah, I kind of felt that too. That there was something.
Jason, what about you?
I got that same memo from John. He wants me to show more skin. It's kind of why I got this.
Can you do more V-necks, please?
I thought for sure the brother was going to end up being the killer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I since you're saying that right now, I'll say there too. I was going that direction as well.
Because he got everything.
Yep.
True. He would have the motive to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of threw out a couple times being the sole whatever
owner of everything.
Yeah. After the brother.
Well, there's also the news that they're switching a host, that the ATL will be the last show that Dennis will host, and he's not very happy about it, even though he's very content on cutting his apple all up. And so we go to a scene where Dennis is walking down the hallway of a hotel, and he overhears a conversation between Carrie and Larry, and they seem to be arguing. And so, of course, Dennis knocks on the door. Carrie answers. She lets him in. She takes off, and Larry and Dennis kind of banter back and forth about, hey, I got this new project, but it's really not about the new project. As we can read between the lines, he's there to try to get his old job back, which Dennis, even though he's trying very, very hard to weasel his way in, Larry's not having it. He's like, look, dude, you're yesterday's news, man. We need something hot and fresh. Lance, I forget what his last name is, but Lance is going to be the new host that all the kids will love.
That's right. Put a quarter in because you played yourself.
Nice. We go back to the TV station, and the game show is actually going on. The taping's going on, and Conrad and Ben are in the seats.
Ben looks like a 9-year-old in the crowd. He's got a smile on. The only thing that would have made him seem more like a 9-year-old is if he had one of those big foam fingers. Like you could see he's just glowing and so happy to just be on set.
Yes, he is very, and I mean, he's a stone's throw away from the beautiful Carrie Summers.
Yeah, he needed to hold up a sign at some point that said Carrie's #1 fan or something, or I heart Carrie. Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like rip open the suit and underneath he has his t-shirt with the I heart Carrie underneath.
Or better yet, he rips open his shirt and does Conrad, and they have I heart Carrie across both their chests.
There you go. Talked him into it.
There you have it. We've seen Ben shirtless once before. We don't need a recap of that.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, the game show's going on, and Larry's in his office, and what do you know? Walter's winning again. All of a sudden, while they stop to switch around to the final question set, while they're doing that, so Walter can win the money, all of a sudden, lights go out. And lights are out, and during that time, we cut to a scene where Larry's going to get stabbed to death. And then the lights come back on, and Walter wins the big money question at the end. Here's my question, because it happens a couple of times, and this is the second time it happens. Dennis has that catchphrase, "Hey, Mom, I'm coming home, put it the pie in the oven." Dude, you have great hair. You should not be living with Mom, okay? You are successful. You are a successful TV host. You should not, by any stretch of the imagination, be living with Mom.
But I think that was maybe what they were trying to drive home with him. Maybe he started at well, obviously he had been there for quite a few years, 12 or 15, whatever it was, years, and that he was the wholesome all-American boy, loves his mom, loves apple pie, and, spends time with Mom. The good, wholesome guy, and that's what sold at the time, maybe. And that was part of probably the conflict then, that they wanted to fire him, or Larry, right? Wanted to fire him,
yeah,
because he wanted something young, hot, more flashy, and kind of maybe get away from that wholesome, what he thought was at the time now boring image, maybe.
Well, I agree with Larry, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, it was boring. We have a comment.
Listen.
What?
Listen, why can't we just be happy that a man of that age, his mother is still alive?
Hey, Jeff.
That's true.
That's true.
What's up, Jeff?
Thanks, Jeff, for checking out
thanks,
the
man.
show. Appreciate it. All right, so we go backstage where Marjorie meets Ben, and Conrad's back there, and they talk, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of screaming, and everybody rushes to Larry's office, in which they find him stabbed to death. So we go to a scene where, of course, our favorite detective, Bob Brooks, is there. He's interviewing the crew and the cast. And this was like the most awkward conversation between a cop and a suspect I've seen in a long time, because he was like, "What's this? This apple peeler?" And Dennis is kind of like a 9-year-old, like, it's fine. It's fine.
When they did that too, I loved how they looked down the line of the other, like the other ones from the show, and each one of them like, "Boop, we know whose that is," and they just got to look away, like, we're gonna let him have the chance to say that's his. Like, but you can just see it on their face, like, we know whose that is, and they got to like look away going down the line.
One, I don't know anybody who owns an apple peeler, and two, I definitely don't know if my coworkers do, and definitely not well enough to identify it in a lineup.
And yeah, that I don't even know. Actually, I don't even know what an apple peeler looks like, to be honest with you. I have no idea. This is news to me. This was all new today. I was like, because like as a kid growing up, we just had like a shorter little knife that, it was like a paring knife is what they called them, And
oh yeah, we had those too, but
that's what you peeled an apple with.
Yeah, we have an apple peeler, but I don't travel around with one. We'll just say that. So.
I'm going to throw one in my bag next time I fly to Rhode Island. And
You're lucky apple peeler that you don't leave home without it.
That's right. That's right. Anyways, well, Bob continues to interview Dennis, and Dennis is the number one suspect because he was getting fired. Larry was firing him. So Marjorie begs Ben to take the case, and of course Ben does. And so he goes with Bob to the police headquarters, and so then we cut to a scene where Norm announces that he has the intellectual property of the show. He has a meeting, and he's like, hey, I got it all. My brother, when he passed, I inherited all except for the missing 3 buttons on my shirt. And basically, look, Dennis is in. Like, no one's getting fired. Not even Dennis, all right? So
man, this is why I thought it was him. He doesn't waste any time. He's back to work. Like, my brother's dead. He was in jerk. And
he was in a good mood. He's like happy and a good mood. And all of a sudden, like you said, the shirt busts open and there's chest hair and gold chains like flying around, And he's like, this is what we're doing on the show. And he was like, but it was so funny. Yeah. Cause he was so subdued before, like he was so quiet and he was all buttoned up and everything. But yeah, that switch was flipped and he was going for it. He turned into his Larry 2.0, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, we cut to another scene where Marjorie and Conrad are chatting about Norm and Larry, and she shares this story about she was dating a man named Todd. And Todd basically was fired by Larry. And he did that because it was revenge because, surprise, surprise, Larry was sexually harassing Marjorie. And so basically, I did find it a little bit weird, though, that she says, the only job he could do, he could find because he was blackballed was he could play music and be a DJ on a Boise radio station. Really? Larry has that much stroke that he's going to banish you from everything in the entertainment world?
And then I wonder if she got any hate mail or the show got any hate mail from DJs from Boise, Idaho after that. I was like, what are you trying to say? Like... But anyway, yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. They're very specific about the only job that he could get.
Yeah, yeah. Like somebody has an axe to grind with Boise.
Yeah, right.
Is what I'm thinking. So Marjorie then attends like a talent meeting where all the contestants are in, and Michelle is in this meeting. All right, and she passes the test. All right. So real quickly, I'd like to stop here and ask you two: do you know anybody that's been like on a game show?
No. I want to be on a game show.
The only time, the closest I came is I went out and visited some friends. A good friend, her family moved out to San Diego, and we went up to a weekend to stay with some of her family that was in the LA area. And we were going to, got up super early and we're going to get in line to go on to The Price is Right. To walk in. You're not guaranteed to be like, but you'd be in the audience and you possibly could get called. We got all excited. We go up to the door and there's a sign on it that they were closed for 2 weeks for vacation, basically. And we were like, oh. So anyway, that was the closest I ever got. I was standing outside the door to the studio. But
I have a very good friend of mine that was a contestant for Jeopardy. Like he got into
nice.
Because they end up, when you jump through all the hoops and do all the tests and do all the games and everything, if you are eligible, you're in a pod of like 50 people, and you're understood that if you get the call, you have 2 weeks to get to Burbank, and you got to get there on your own. But it was interesting. He talked about how all the different hoops they had to jump through. Like when they played the game, like there were certain things like you couldn't ring in early. Like you're not allowed to ring in early, and you had to be like you had to follow directions. If you didn't follow directions, they were like, "Sorry, but you got to go." So it was really interesting. So yeah. So I have a friend that almost made it to Jeopardy.
Nice.
And I think he would have done well.
Luck. I want to be on Supermarket Sweep. I want to be on Double Dare, a Wheel of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune.
I'm too old to be on Double Dare, but I still want to be on Double Dare.
I was going to say, I thought Double Dare was a little younger. Yeah. Well, anyways. So Ben interviews Carrie. And
hold on, John.
Again,
we have a comment from Liz, and it's kind of to what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
To it up. Lucky, I made it into the contestant pod a few years ago, but they never called.
Yeah, same with my buddy John. Yeah, the same thing. He made it into that last 50 and then never got the call.
Well, you made it further than I did, Liz. So there you go.
Yeah. So, anyways, Ben interviews Carrie, and Carrie was on a run with her bodyguard, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I know him. You know, this old man's not going to hurt me." And Ben is again more flirty, and I love the comment, "Well, I get offers all the time." "Oh, I bet you do." And I'm like,
and he's like, "Oh, no, I didn't mean that." But that's how smooth he is too, because he was like, "You got the prettiest smile. I bet you get offers to do toothpaste commercials all the time," or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's pretty smooth there, Matt."
Yeah. Here's my comment. I go, "Why don't you two go make out behind a church?" It's a callback. To a couple weeks ago. Anyways,
I do love the bodyguard's jogging suit that he had on, though. It was screaming 80s or early 90s. I mean, it was the purple and pink and teal. I don't know. I might be getting the colors wrong, but it was that kind of mix. And I was like, "Oh, that's a killer little tracksuit you got on there." But anyway.
So Ben interviews Norm, minus the 3 buttons on his shirt. And basically, Norm then goes out into the studio and he meets some of the contestants. He hypes them up for the taping of the show. And Michelle sees before they start this procedure, they take a little break. And Michelle sees Norm going into Larry's office, which has police tape on it. And that means, no, you don't enter. So Marjorie kind of catches Michelle snooping, which I thought was pretty interesting. And there's a scene where in the parking lot, the nameplate for Larry is replaced so that Norm now has that parking spot.
And conveniently, they were doing it right when he was like backing out of the space too. I was like, "Well, that's timely." But I thought that was kind of funny. Sorry.
And then our good friend Conrad sees what's going on, and he follows Norm as he leaves. Now, again, I love classic cars, but again, I'm going to mention this: a bright red '65 Mustang. Like, those are not that many of those around in '91.
Bright red with a nice white top. I'm sure that doesn't blend in really well.
Yeah, I mean, it blends in perfectly, right?
Yeah,
Perfect.
right.
So Michelle, though, we go back to a scene to the actual like practice game. Michelle's crushing it. She is just absolutely just destroying it. And then like the most unnecessary scene ever is when the lady contestant is like, "Thanks, that could have paid for my kids' tuition to college."
Yeah.
Go pound salt, lady. What's your problem? Like, you had equal opportunity to win, and you didn't because you're inept or you're dumb. One of the two.
Guess you should have tried harder for your kid. Come on.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was very a little curt to her
Yes.
as she walked away.
Very much so. All right. Then we go to Norm. He runs into Ben because Ben is happened to just be in the same place that he is, as he admits to the fact that he's had Norm trailed. And basically he was like, "What are you doing here visiting somebody named Darnell?" I don't remember what their last name was, but Darnell. But basically he was a competitor with Larry. All right. And we're talking about juvenile things on this episode. I love how Norm was like, "It's none of your beeswax." Fantastic. Wonderful. Oh my, those words hurt so much.
Yep.
But basically, Norm was pitching a new idea to Darnell, and he stole the file to help solidify the deal. So we cut to a scene where she's getting fitted for her new outfit, and Michelle shows up. I did like the fact that they said you dress like an accountant, which I don't think is fair because as I've said many times before, Michelle Thomas is an attractive lady, and she's a classy lady. She's not going to be dressing like any trollop, if you will. Jason, are you confused by what trollop means?
No, I know, but I just thought it was funny that they were just like, "Well, we're going to have to give you a makeover if you're going to be on this show." And they, yeah, sorry. I was just like thinking of like going into the designer or the room or whatever anyway, they were like, "Yeah, you're smart enough, but we got to do something with this outfit."
Well, but then if you looked and paid attention at the end when they finally Michelle walks off the set and you get to see what she was wearing, it was kind of the exact same thing, only sleeveless. So I'm like,
showing some skin now. Got the arms. Got the arms showing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me. I can tell you that the beach is over there.
Yep. It's like, anybody seen the weight room around here? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Mr. T was very popular, and he didn't have sleeves. So there you go.
there you go.
There's a phone call for Carrie. And so she goes and gets it while Michelle starts the process of getting fitted for some new clothes. But she keeps paying attention to what the phone call is all about because it's very hostile. And it's very, very, very urgent as well. So then we cut to a scene, and it's an exterior of the same hotel that they have used every single season in this episode. Every time there are some things exterior-wise that they always show, Corey. One, this afternoon traffic in Atlanta that does not exist, even in 1991. There's not enough cars on that parkway to be anyways near accurate to Atlanta traffic. And then this particular hotel they show constantly as well. Whenever they got to meet at a hotel, it's that one. So
John, Atlanta is a small town, okay? Obviously.
No, it's not.
That is the only hotel they have.
There's 2 to choose from. That's the one they got.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to this show, John.
Well, anyways, in this hotel, Ben and Conrad are snooping on Carrie. And Carrie does something so secretive that I bet no one, even people that were just randomly at the hotel, didn't catch on. She takes an envelope and sticks it underneath the chair and then waits a few minutes and walks off.
And I love her looking around, like make sure the coast is clear, but she didn't look back over her shoulder where they're standing. And of course their backs are to her, but looking into like a mirrored wall. So I'm like, wouldn't you be able to see their reflection in that too? I don't know. I just thought it was funny because I was like, she never looked back over the one shoulder to see if.
And you would think even in the reflection, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute, that looks like that old man. That's the lawyer. You know, I mean,
looks really familiar.
Mm-hmm. So, I did write this down too because I caught this, and just because this takes me back to junior high. There's a quick shot of Carrie as she sat down and she put the envelope under, and then she crosses her leg. She was wearing stirrup pants, and I remember those
nice.
From the 90s.
I missed that.
All the girls would wear the stirrup pants.
Oh heck yeah, it's style, man. That's like today's yoga pants, That was like the yoga pants of the early 90s, or late 80s, early 90s.
I agree. So Conrad gets the file, and then Ben reacts to what's in the envelope. And while you guys thought Norm was the killer, right here, this spoiled it. I knew who the killer was. I think it's pretty obvious.
Something was pretty fishy at that point.
Jason, do you agree with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, because it was poorly disguised. So we go to the final taping, and it is Walter and another contestant, but who cares about that third contestant? Let's talk about it's Walter versus Michelle. That's what we care about. That's what we're here for. And again, Michelle looking good, even though, as I just said, not really that big of a difference in her wardrobe. But Walter wins again. All right, so he's up to like $80,000 in 23 days or something, they said. I wrote down that I believe that this game show is rigged.
Yeah.
The final question comes, and Walter loses. He loses. And so that's a big controversy because Michelle, you kind of got the feeling she knew the answer, but she refused to buzz in, which we do find out, spoiler alert, we do find out that's the case later on.
Yeah, she kind of makes the motion, and you kind of see her do a little hesitate. Yeah.
So Ben and Conrad, they go to check out Larry's office, and they find that the final questions and answers are in an unlocked briefcase. No one locks anything in this show. Front doors, back doors, car doors, briefcases.
Small town, John. Small town. You don't lock doors.
The super secret stuff you won't share with anybody. It's in an unlocked briefcase.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi,
Nikki.
Who?
Nikki, Jane Doe Latte that is in the chat. Her name's Nikki. Jeff, John Doe Gigolo, sorry, not to go off, but that you saw earlier, it's actually his mom. Yeah, they're both real cool. He's got a big YouTube channel. But anyway, sorry, I digress.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Very cool. They're jumping in and saying hi.
All right. Well, Nikki, correct?
Yes.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. So then Ben takes one more walk through the scene, the courtroom, or not the courtroom, but the crime scene after they found the unlocked briefcase. And so that brings us to our final segment where we go to the courtroom and Carrie is on the stand. And Carrie had a few behind the scenes gigs before she got the gig on the game show. So she had signed a contract with Larry and she had been offered multiple projects, but of course it was shot down by Larry. And so Ben theorizes that she could have made a lot of money. She could have made upwards of $80,000 a year or more if she had taken some of these particular gigs. Ben pulls out a paper that consists of the final question and answer, and he confronts Carrie and saying, listen, you have been selling these for profit, of which she admits to. She admits to it. She's like, yeah. And so Ben says, that's why you and Larry were arguing in the hotel the other night, right? Well, yeah, okay. And that's why you killed them. And she denies that. But Ben puts out all the evidence that he has. That he said, look, you were a lighting expert on a couple of your other jobs, right? Yes. You could have rigged the lighting via timer. You could have had the power go out at the set. You could run over to the office of Larry, kill him, come back, lights come back on. No one would be any bit the difference, and they would not know. And before you left that office, you made sure to write down the questions and answers. And she goes, that's preposterous. Well, it's not, because as we found out, the letterhead has Lance's name and not Dennis's name. So that means that day those arrived at the building, and that would be the day in which Larry died. And since she had the letterhead that had the new name on it, that's what incriminates her. And so Ben apologizes to Carrie because he thinks he's going to get lucky or something. I don't know. I'm like, why are you apologizing? Your job is to get your client off, and you got your client off.
Yeah, he's basically, I'm sorry I had to do this to you because you're so pretty. It's like, you're a lawyer, right? Right? You did what you were supposed to do, right?
Dennis is acquitted, apparently. It's inferred that he gets off. And then Michelle talks about how she almost answered the third question, but she couldn't do it because she had to let Walter win so that they could expose Walter and Carrie. And then Michelle talks a little baseball with the boys. And that concludes our episode, The Game Show. So, guys, do you have anything you want to talk about real quick before we start wrapping up the episode?
I'd say that was a world record to get a murder trial in front of a judge. It's like, anyway, I know it's a TV show, but I thought that my cynical self, I'm like, don't look into it too much, Corey, but I'm like, there's no way they'd get in front of a judge that soon, kind of a thing. But no, anyway, it was fun. It was a fun episode. I had a fun time with it.
Jason?
We have a comment. Justin wants to throw it up real quick. Love Matlock. Sorry I saw this so late. Oh, you're fine, Leanne. Welcome.
They'll have more coming up, so check them out. Hit the bell and stuff, and subscribe to them, and you'll get the notification hopefully a little sooner next time. And they got some more seasons to go.
Yeah, we still do have.
I'm nervous about some of the later seasons, but everybody out there, John, what time is it?
Well, it's time for us to go on into our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John, Corey, and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means we weren't super big fans. 5 gavels means we absolutely loved it. Negative 300 gavels means that we are going to become mountain men and live in Colorado. Corey,
wait a minute. Wait. I did not agree to this. I do not want to live outdoors in Colorado.
Just because I stopped shaving doesn't mean I'm going to go mountain man on everybody and go out to Colorado. But
it sounds fun. I'm not giving it 300, or negative 300, so we're good. All
right, Corey.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know I already messed it up, but what was the rating system again? Sorry, can you say it one more time?
1 through 5.
1 through 5? Oh, man, this is so hard because I had not seen a Matlock in forever. So, I don't know. I had fun with this one. So, I'll throw a 4 on there. I thought it was fun. I liked the game show thing and them tying in that stuff. So I don't know, 3 or 4. I'll go with 4. We'll go with that. I had a fun time with it.
Nice. I'm not too far off from you because we've had a few episodes that weren't great. But this one was fun. It was 3.5 for me. I like that Michelle is on the show. I think this is her second or third week in a row that she's shown up, which has been fantastic because I really like Nancy Stafford. And we get some more Conrad. I'm always down for more Conrad. And the game show. I kind of wish Matlock was the contestant on this game show. Mm-hmm. That would have been an experience. But overall, a lot of fun.
Maybe they knew he'd be drooling all over
Kari Summers.
Kari, so he wouldn't be able to answer any questions.
I also gave it a 4 because I like the plot. I like the game show setting. I like that there was a lot of focus put on Michelle because she seemed to be, very prevalent in this episode. I didn't like it. The negatives, I should say, that I didn't like was the predictable killer. I knew that she was the killer as soon as they found that envelope. And then I put down Flirty Ben because, as I'm sure Liz, our good friend, will back me up on this, Matlock, you have a girlfriend. Her name is Julie.
Well, I mean, he only has a girlfriend when it's convenient to the plot.
True. Very, very true indeed. Yes. So, all right. Well, ladies and gents, you have to let us know what you thought. And there's a couple different ways that you can get in touch with us. Jason, hit them up with the Mattalk email address, please.
Email us at benmattalk@gmail.com.
Or you can follow us on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast. And you know what, Corey? Where can folks find you on the internet? And take a few moments to talk about your great YouTube channel.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'll first, again, I'll say thank you very much for having me on. It's always fun hanging out with you guys. So this was no exception tonight. Had a great time. You don't have to twist my arm too hard to hang out and talk about some, shows or movies. So I truly appreciate it. On YouTube and Instagram, you can find me at Wilkie's Movies and Music, and always rolling out some live streams. I'm going to probably get back to pre-recorded videos at some point, but I fell in love with hanging out and having people in the chat and doing that. So maybe to my detriment, but I'm having a fun time with it. So, but yeah, if you like movies, music, and a lot of my talks will go into people I've met, just like when I've spoke to both of you, getting into your history, how you got into YouTube and some of your interests, movies you're watching, if you get into collecting. It's always fun to hear the stories behind other people's channels and just find our common interests. And then sometimes there's things outside of my knowledge base, and it's fun to expand and get some exposure to that. So if it sounds fun, swing on by. Always love to have some extra people hanging out and have some fun.
All right, Jason, what about Three Geeks? What's going on with your podcast?
If you guys are watching, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are watching on Matlock, hit that subscribe button. Wherever you're watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are just doing our thing, man. I'm thinking about doing a second show where the opposite weeks of Mattalk, I just come on and talk about TV because I watch a lot throughout the week, especially like the weekly shows. So I can't really talk about Law and Order on Three Geeks, but I could go on the off week and, give my top 5 shows to watch for that week. I think that could be fun. So I'm thinking about it. I'm very close to deciding to do it. I just need to find a co-host who watches weekly television to do it with me. But, we got a lot of stuff going on. Saturday at 7 p.m. we are live, and we will be live again this upcoming Saturday. We got a new geek. She'll be on at least once a month. I believe she'll be on in 2 weeks again. But anyway, guys, just come, hang out, say hi. And while I'm plugging myself, I want to plug my friend, Liz. Go to Dark Sea Yarn, at Dark Sea Yarn. Support a friend of the show.
And that's Dark Sea Yarn on Instagram, by the way, I believe. Mm-hmm. As for the PVD Cast, PVD Cast is my own personal podcasting project. Again, I drop new episodes on Thursdays. And right now, the episode is a interview with a cinematographer. And if you're like, I don't know what that is, well, you need to listen to the episode. But no, in all seriousness, Jake Reynolds, based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, has done a lot of cool stuff in the indie film scene as a cinematographer. And we talk about, all the ins and outs of what that position means and what the responsibilities are for somebody that has that position, and talk about some cool projects, talk about his philosophy on filmmaking, a whole bunch of topics. So check it out at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever. You know where they are. So anyways, with that, guys, should we get on out of here?
We shall, John.
All right.
We need a nap.
A nap? It's almost 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's fine. Nap.
Are you like an old person? You could take a nap. You could sleep from like 7:30 to 9:30. Get up, go right to bed, and sleep the rest of the day. Jason,
I can't do that yet.
I can't do that yet. So, anyways, all right, let's get on out of here, guys. As they say in court,
Nothing further.